truly need big ideas that differentiate one neighborhood from another.
We're very thoughtful about the neighborhoods that we choose. My whole childhood was about going into neighborhoods that most people viewed as hopeless. And then it was a function of taking that vision and seeing it through over the course of many years. Our company was founded on December 1st, 1968.
I opened Goldman Properties in a 200 square foot office at the age of 24 years old. I cut my teeth in the real estate business in New York's Upper West Side, renovating brownstones.
He said to me about Soho, kid, there was beautiful cobblestone streets, cast iron buildings, spectacular architects. So I thought, how cool would it be to live in this place?
He had this vision because he took a brownstone and he made it into a loft.
I started working for Tony in 1981, building the upstairs at Green Street cabaret venue.
We opened our first restaurant, the magnificent Green Street Cafe.
And listen to jazz and eat, and it was one-of-a-kind experience, and that really put Soho on the map.
And he had a huge mural painted on the back wall by Francoise Shine. He always incorporated art. You know, in the New York Times they said he was the granddaddy of Soho.
In 1985, opportunity brought me to Miami Beach and Ocean Drive.
He went to South Beach and fell in love with South Beach.
Beautiful Art Deco hotels. Most people don't know. Most of those Art Deco hotels were either plywood or like retirement homes, but not that nice. Some had chickens in the lobby. You know, it was like that.
He would have these visions. He'd see things that other people wouldn't. He opened a restaurant there called Lucky's.
By 1990, things were really humming. The Park Central Hotel and our award-winning restaurant Lucky's were setting the pace. And together, we reestablished and restored 18 properties in the heart of South Beach.
I started coming to Miami when Tony was purchasing property in South Beach. All of our zones go through different phases, whether it's been Soho or South Beach or Philadelphia or Wynwood. Wynwood was an incredible adventure. Tony's son Joey discovered the district back in 2004.
My brother recognized that here was this really interesting downtrodden neighborhood.
Only warehouses with no storefronts.
No restaurants, no art scene.
Nothing very significant about the architecture.
Not a good neighborhood.
It felt kind of like a ghost town.
No people, for that matter. A blank canvas, if you will.
He said, this is going to be my magnum opus, kid. I'm going to show him how it's done.
Depressed areas, and when they're in their depression, are taken over by a lot of street artists. Think about what else we could do.
An urban landscape that is poor without graffiti is even more depressing because you would just have nothing to look at.
Tony had an idea about putting murals on these big blank windowless walls.
Let's take street art and create an international outdoor street art museum or experience.
So I was with Tony when he realized that it was going to be artistic intervention that would make the change to Wynwood.
He said, I've got the town center figured out. It's going to be called the Wynwood Walls. I'm using street art.
Literally, Joey's and us were the only retail opportunities.
Miami is all yin. You need some yang.
I used to say, this could only happen in New York.
I think you see the fruits of a lot of labor of a lot of people. We're not even close to being done in this neighborhood.
I 100% did not believe that Wynwood would become what it was today.
It's incredible. You go around. Before, I remember what a neighborhood looked like, and there wasn't much here.
Look what happened to this neighborhood.
All over the world, Wynwood is the model that people are trying to replicate. We want to go into the bad neighborhood and turn it around by using art the same way they did with Wynwood.
When you have such a passion about whatever it is you're doing, people feel it, and it makes it successful when you're sincere about what you're doing.
We have 250 people that work in Goldman Properties. We have hundreds and hundreds of others that have worked with us over the course of time.
Soho, South Beach, Philadelphia. We have a wall on Houston Street and the Bowery, and we've just displayed art on this wall.
That philosophy permeated everything that Tony did, right? He really thought about the legacy he was leaving behind.
We're celebrating 50 years in business.
It's 50 years with us.
We've worked at it for 50 years. We're going to work at it for another 50 years. And that's what's so beautiful about Goldman Properties.